So we're working mount attacks. I do want to show a really cool setup from side control to transition into mount. We both learned this actually at an Ana Carolina Vieira seminar, and I just love the control. You're ultimately going to look like this, but if we can be proactive and get there in side control and then transition to a really nice clean mount and then get to a finish, it's awesome. So if I have Jay here inside, so I'm starting just kind of in an ideal side control position, knee under the armpit, chest to chest, head control, and then I have a shallow underhook. So what I really want to try and work for here, and I'm sprawling my leg back. You can bring your knee into the hip, but I want to stay nice and heavy. So what I want to look for is, it's going to be really hard for me to just lift his arm up over his head. So instead of just using my arm strength, I'm going to use the mat, using the Addams Family hand. So we're going to use the leverage of the mat, crawl, crawl, crawl up. And then as I start working my way and his armpit opens up, I'm going to get the pit grip. Okay, so I get a pit grip, and then I'm going to get the head grip. So I can bring my head down low. I don't have to completely isolate the arm, like his arm could be here for starters, right? But I'm just keeping my head on it nice and low. And then what we're going to do is start sliding to mount. So what I want to be cautious of, I don't want to just come up and start like bringing my leg over. He's going to trap it, right? Exactly. So I'm going to do this nice and easy. I'm bringing my knee to the hip, and then I'm just going to slide my shin across, leading with my knee. My knee hits the mat, and on the other side, my foot is connected to the hip. When I'm ready, I'm going to just shift my hip, and I'm going to flick my foot. So that way he can't trap my ankle or foot. And then I bring my toes underneath the butt. Okay, so just so you can see that from a little bit of a different angle, where you can see my foot. We're here. I'm in this spot. I'm going to slide across. My feet or my toesies hook on the hip. That way he's not trapping my foot, right? I don't want to do that. So as I'm here, boom, I've got control. When I'm ready, I can be patient. My shin's controlling his hip. I'm going to go ahead, flick out, and then tuck. Okay, so now we're going to shift back. Once I get into mount, go back a little bit, I have this set up. This is great. I'm isolating the arm. We have a lot of different options here. But since I'm doing this one on Jay, we're going to do the head and arm triangle. That's one of his favorites. So I'm going to show you that. And we're going to talk about his little salsa shoulder that he uses. So I've got the pit grip, head grip, great control. What I need to make sure of though is that his arm's going to be in place, because the bicep and shoulder is going to be on one side of the carotid for the choke, and then my bicep and shoulder are going to be on the other side. So what I do first and foremost is I'm going to use my hand on the head to kind of like shift his neck into my elbow pit. I want it nice and flush. Okay, now what I want to do is I need to make sure my shoulder is right in alignment with his chin or under his chin, right? If it's on his face, that's no good. Got my ponytail in the way. So here's where we do the salsa shoulder, or you're shifting the shoulder back, right? In theory, but you're just gonna roll it and let it sink in right underneath that chin. Now on the other side, I'm going to use my head and make sure I shift his bicep down on his arm. This is where I want to make sure my head is ear to ear. I'm connected. So we're connected in the head, so I'm pinching the arm. And then we're going to turn this way. I'm going to gable grip. Top arm is going to come palm down, or top hand. And then I capture my other hand. I'm going to tripod up. And then I'm going to cut my knee across, like I'm doing a knee cut. And then I get heavy and melt into the ground. I bring my elbows into my chest, and I slowly walk out. So I'm just making the corkscrew super tight. How'd that feel? Woo! Floating. So I really want to make sure I'm bringing my elbows to my ribs or to my chest, and I'm melting into him as I start walking out. If I do feel like he's going to follow me, okay, I can use my knee against his hip. So this knee can come right against the hip, if you can see that, okay? Or if I'm able to, I can just keep walking out. But I would check the knee and then go belly down, nice and heavy. I hope you guys find that useful. Try and incorporate this tool. It's great in side control to isolate the arm for a lot of attacks, and then in mount as well. So thank you so much, Jonathan. Okay. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave any questions in the comments below. Bye.